Well, salutations to the kindred spirits. We're doing it again, live from Las Vegas. Got an exciting stream planned for this morning or maybe this afternoon. Hold on a second. I was streaming myself on the YouTube on the other thing. No time for that. We have special guests in the house today. Dig it. I was at the Portland Magic Jam last weekend. What a killer convention that is. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Had the pleasure of crossing paths with Louie Foxx. What an amazing professional this guy is. He was killing it at the convention in the dealer's room, on the stage, and we're about to talk to this wonderful magician. I thought maybe before we did, I would give you a heads up on who he is, what he does, and I think a great way to do that is to take a look at his website and maybe take a look at a minute or so of his trailer. You can find that in the video section. I'm going to encourage all the viewers to go to louiefoxx.com today and learn more about Louie, what he does, and let's take a look at a minute of the magic of Louie Foxx.
Slowly start walking into the whip.
Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes, but I live in Seattle now, and I recently learned Seattle is an old native word meaning land of 10,000 Starbucks.
Did you wash your hands?
All right, so that is Louie Foxx. Let me get myself. That is Louie Foxx. As you can tell, he's a well-rounded professional working big venues, doing big things in all kinds of markets. I could talk more about him, but why don't I bring him on? We'll talk to him in person. Hey, folks, say hello to Louie.
Hey, I also work small venues.
It seems like you work like everything, man. You are like the quintessential modern professional from my point of view.
That kind of came about just kind of the natural development. I'm still good at old skills. So like, people go, oh, you're a this, you're a that. I'm like, I can do anything. I think the only thing I haven't done is a stadium show.
Well, you're still young enough to get that done. And with the way you're moving and shaking, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to see you in Allegiant Stadium here. Come on down for the WrestleMania. Maybe do that one.
On it.
What do you got going this week? You were up at the Moisture Festival, right, in Seattle? Yeah. That's happening now. Is that happening today too?
It happens. It runs 4 weeks. So the Moisture Festival is, it's the largest, longest running, and there's some asterisks in there, variety arts festival in the world.
Oh.
We bring in, I think, over 100 artists from around the world, and it's a fast-paced European-style variety show. It's in a performing arts center, so everyone does about 5 minutes. So we have a dozen acts in a show.
Man, that sounds like my cup of tea for sure.
And then each week the cast rotates.
Okay.
So, or you
might do a couple spots in this, or are you just one day in it, or what's your involvement?
Okay, so I'm on the booking team, so I help recommend acts for it.
Right.
And then I run part of their website as well. And then I'm a performer, but I'm technically local, so I fill in as needed.
Yeah, dig it.
So I perform Thursday, and then I'm doing next weekend, and then I'm on the road, so unavailable.
we're like right into what you're doing now. Let's get a little bit of your origin story. How about that? How does Louie Foxx become Louie Foxx? What's your
I mean,
deal?
it's the classic story. Saw a show when I was a kid, and I'm like, hey, that's what I want to do. And then coming up, I didn't know better. When I was like probably 13 or 14, I built the table that's in the Mark Wilson course in Magic in the back. It's just two boards on a hinge with a board on top. Went downtown Seattle and started street performing.
I love that. And when was that when was that for you?
So early 90s, I was 13 or 14 years old.
Man. I tell the kids that's the way you get good. You get out there and just start getting the reps in. There's no better way to do it than the street.
Yeah, I got what I do. I did my crowd gather was the old dancing Hank that was just a spring on a piece of elastic that went up your sleeve. And so that would move, people would stop. I'd hand it to someone, it'd go limp, and then I'd do card tricks.
Yeah. Do you ever go out and kick it on the streets anymore? Just for
I try and go out once a year. The other thing I do though is I have a vintage crank organ.
Oh yeah, we're looking at your website right now. So
there's the vintage organ right there.
The vintage organ. What's the deal with that?
It's an old crank organ, and I will do it. I do name that tune with it, or I have bits. But occasionally, if I know I'm going to have a gap in my schedule in a city, I'll throw it in the car and go plunk up on a corner and play it and make.
Yeah, why not?
But here's the thing: I do it for fun. Like I do it. I talk to people. That's what I do.
You are a people person, having seen you in action behind the booth in the dealer's room. And let me just make an open note to all the convention people in the world. If you haven't considered booking Louie Foxx, consider it. You're like a triple threat. You're killer on the stage. You're great in the dealer's room.
And I brought pizza one night.
And you buy food for the kindred spirits, which was a good move at this convention. We'll talk about that in a little bit in just a second. We'll do a little Portland Magic Jam recap. Yeah. So yeah, started as a kid, did some street shows, and then decided this was it for you, huh? Decided you were going to be a professional magician.
Yeah, my first paid gig, we moved to Minnesota. So my first paid gig, well, all right, so I was doing street shows as a kid, and then Sheila, there's a magic shop at the Pike Place Market in Seattle. At the time, it was owned by Sheila and Daryl, and they both came up and saw me because they had heard about this kid doing tricks. So they would have me come in and work a few hours, and I'd work off books or whatever for them. And then at one point, I ended up running the shop for a long time as well. But that's where you get like all the reps, pitching that Svengali deck all day.
That made the difference for me. I'm a Magic Masters guy. I used to work in the mall doing 15 demos a day, 5 days a week, 3 years. You get good at that. Just interacting with people, right?
Well, and you learn to read people. That's like the bigger thing is going, all right, what did Tom Frank always say about street performing? You watch the people's feet.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot.
That sounds like a Cellini lesson. Yeah, I guess you spent some time with Tom up there too, man.
Yeah, when he was up here, I hung out with him a bunch as well. And then lived in Minnesota for a little bit. So that was Larry Callow at Eagle Magic.
Epic.
Got me into a lot of books, but then that was an older style magic because back then Larry smoked and everyone smoked in the shop. I don't think he smokes anymore, but we'd have a conversation about something and something would come up and you could see the wheels start clicking in Larry's head, and then 20 minutes later he'd just stop, walk into the back room, and come back out with what we were talking about.
See, that's like I aim to be that guy, Oh, you need the Kabizzle Bob from the 1930s. Let me get in the way. Give me about 16 minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's like old school magic shop. I always love that. Like it's
like
not
Denny smoked and had a pig. How about that one?
Yeah, I met Denny at the end. So literally the end. So he was still smoking. I never saw the pig though.
Yeah. So there's a killer shop up in that area. People asked about the shirt. Let me shout out to Seth. He runs, is it just the Magic Shop up there? Is that the name of it?
Called the Magic Shop and More in Astoria, Oregon.
Astoria, Oregon. Y'all want a shirt like this? Astoria, Oregon's where you got to be. He actually has a brick and mortar in a mall up there. Is that right?
No, it's
No?
on the historic Main Street. It's
Historic
yeah.
Main Street. Shout out to Seth. Thanks for the shirt. Y'all go find Magic Shop and more if you want one of these. All right. So speaking of magic goods, and we could probably talk about your career forever because you do so much and have done a lot. You've evolved yourself into a working pro and have been. How long you been a full-time professional?
Pretty much my whole life. I mean, I guess there's a 5-year chunk running a magic shop in my early 20s, but that was really to support the other part.
Yeah, I get it. And sometimes the early years we have to do things that
yeah, and there's nothing right. It's fun. I love being behind the counter. But that was never like my goal was to perform. So like I was performing in comedy clubs. I was performing, and that's really where I came up was like doing comedy clubs. That was kind of where I figured myself out. You can get on
stage. Let me be clear. You are hilarious. Like I saw your act at Wonderground. Had me rolling in the aisles. I mistakenly didn't have you close that night because I wasn't sure what you did. But man, you should have definitely been the closer that evening.
That's the energy I like coming into a place is like, and then crushing it. So like, because my performing persona is basically me, right? It's so like when I performed the other night at the Moisture Festival, it's all these circus acts and all these, and then I'm just a dude that walks out, and then I proceed to just bam, 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 bam. I love that. I love coming into a thing where they have low expectations of me, and then I crush.
Now, how do you advertise yourself to your market? Is it as a magician or because you got a sideshow slant? What are you selling?
So I used to, the formal show a long time ago was Louie Foxx, the one-man sideshow, because I do so much. Now, for us, sideshow means some very specific things: glass eating, sword swallowing, bed of nails. But I do so much stuff that we were trying to kind of figure out a title, and it's just the magic of Louie Foxx. So I sell myself as a magician. So that's the easiest box to put it on. And if I'm doing a thing, that's the easiest box to put butts in seats. And that was my agent Scott's idea.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. He's like, because people don't know what a one-man sideshow is. But people know, they see magic, they know it. Well, half the time they read music and show up, but they understand that.
All right. So I want to talk about...
Someone in the chat asked what my favorite thing to perform is.
There we go. And by the way, chat, I've been kind of ignoring you a little bit because we're so enthralled with Mr. Louie Foxx here. But good morning. Hello, Reno. How you doing today? What's up, Tim asking? Good to see you as well. Scott Link's in the house. There's a regular face we're happy to see. And yeah, now, Don, now you know where to get the shirt. What is it? Astoria, Washington.
Astoria, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yep, that's where the Goonies was filmed.
Oh, sounds about right. Bunch of weird stuff up there. And
Seth's in the chat. What's up, Seth?
Is Seth here?
Yeah.
Seth, we're plugging your shop, man. There he is. Go find Seth on Facebook and say, I want a Tarbell shirt. He'll tell you where to get it.
Yeah. So, all right. So my favorite thing to perform is for, like Tim asking, is what actually I did at the Portland Magic Jam, which is my marshmallow routine. It's a card trick. It runs 8-ish minutes. It's just,
did you do that on a television appearance? Can people see that on a clip?
No, I keep that pretty close to me. I'll put little bits of it, but not the whole thing out. I've done a version of it on a news thing, but not my main version.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is there's basically, it feels 100% spontaneous. It's not. There's beats we hit. But
it's organized chaos. It looks like chaos, to be clear.
Yes, but it lets me I hit all these beats, but I have to be very present as a performer in that. I can't shut off during it, which is great. I mean, I'll choke if I shut off. But
you did perform this routine. I saw it at Wonderground. I saw it in Oregon. slayed both times. Let's talk a little bit about Oregon. And as we talk about this, here I am on your, what is this?
Magicshow.tips.
Magicshow.tips.
And that's my daily blog.
Daily blog.
So
Yeah, every day, huh? Do you do it every day?
Every day.
That's impressive.
Yes, you get a lot. I have a lot of opinions because I write in it every day. But I break down the convention day by day. So
and there's a lot on here too. Like this is full of like just all kind, like there's something from the Moisture Festival. There's like when you do a short form video, which by the way, if you're not following Louie Foxx on Instagram, you're missing out. He does an amazing, it's like I said, total package.
Yeah. So like that one you just showed was I'm going through the card magic of Nick Trost. And I'm posting the original version, how it's written, and then my update to it. Because a lot of techniques we have now didn't exist in 1950.
Right. Love it.
And that book is amazing if anyone doesn't have it.
It is amazing. And you can get a copy at tricksupply.com.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about what you can get at Trick Supply in just a minute. Let's talk just a bit about the jam and let people know what they missed. Here we are on day one. And we had the
highlight for me day one was David K's pre-talk about what we were going to see the next day.
Man, I sat that out. I'm in the dealer's room like a nincompoop thinking I didn't need to sit in for the David K Kid Show talk.
So David K, I'm convinced, is a genius.
Dude, I agree with that after watching his close-up and performance for the kids. He's a grandmaster.
Yes, but so he was talking about comedy principles to look for, and he goes his knowledge is way beyond most kid show performers' knowledge of comedy. And he's talking about like how a modern comedy goes like, like more modern is long story setup, punch versus the older setup, punch, tag, setup, punch, tag.
Yeah.
Like dude is smart. Like if you don't do kid shows, you can learn a ton from him.
And then his close-up set was hilarious. Did you see that? The IRS skit? Oh my God, so funny. So
once again, that comes into him understanding comedy.
Yeah. One of the proest pros to ever pro it up. And speaking of that, John Chirac, he was a killer all weekend long, right?
Yes.
I guess he did a close-up lecture.
He did a lecture that was stand-up close-up. What was cool about him, for me, was his use of music.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like using it to punctuate things. That's me eating marshmallows.
There he is.
And then we had Richard Turner, technically amazing. I
feel like
his performance style is a little dated.
When you address your crowd, is it okay to not be politically correct for a while? Probably not in the modern. But okay, own yourself. And I guess if anyone can, it's Richard Turner. He's been around. He's earned his status as one of the greats. And man, his card handling. And you know who also impressed me a lot is Rick Seidman, his protege. Yes. Did you get to see Rick throw down at all?
The dice thing was amazing.
Oh my God, what a card trick! Like I don't think I've been like in awe of a card trick as that one in a long time.
Yes.
Although Kalen Morelli's booth had me drooling, and I did buy something from him. I can't wait to share.
Oh, for me, every day at the convention, I brought something different for people to look at. I'm not selling too. So and
I love this for everyone that was in your universe. Like if you visit the Louie Foxx booth, you get history museum visit and a demo and a friendly smile too. So yeah, like you brought, is that bird cages in the back?
That's my bird cage collection in that picture. Yeah.
You were just talking about bird cages before the show. This might be a good segue to talk about something that we offer, a little product of yours that has to do with bird cages. We sold one this week.
My take-up reel.
The take-up reel. This thing. I don't know. This is like a pricey product. How much is one of these things?
I think they're $400.
$400. So
let me tell you the story about it.
Yeah, tell us a story. Tell us what a take-up reel is. And
So what a take-up reel does, if you've ever seen like the Billy McComb Vanishing Birdcage video or the Tommy Wonder book or video, what a take-up reel does is it allows you to do the Vanishing Birdcage or any wrist-to-wrist pull type of thing at any point in your show. You don't have to like fidget to get the end or anything like that. And in my lifetime, the only person that made them was Owen Magic. That was the only place you could get them. Okay. So 15 years ago, I called Alan. I'm like, hey, can I get a take-up reel? And he's like, yeah, they're $800. I'm like, great, I'll take one. He goes, I'm not making one right now. I'm like, oh. So the year later, hey, can I get one? What's the price? And he'd go, oh, it's $1,000. I think we got up to like $1,600 and he still wouldn't make one for me. So I was driving one day and the idea popped in my head. I pulled over off the freeway, drew it on the back of a envelope or scrap piece of paper, and then went home, 3D printed most of the reel. I mean, I can do it for you if you want.
Oh yeah. Well, you wanted, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Sure. So let me kind of explain I'm going to try not to give away too much without giving away, but its only purpose is to shorten a piece of string. So that's it. It shortens a piece of string about 10 inches, has nothing to do with the actual vanish. I anticipated this. I grabbed a coat in my office. I never have a coat.
It's so cool. I love seeing this stuff, man.
All right, and let's go. So what it allows me to do, and this isn't the coat I normally do this in, so it's missing one thing, but I can do anything. Like in one of my shows, let me tilt this up a little bit. In one of my shows, oh, that's a horrible view for what's going to happen. All right. In one of my shows, I do like lasso tricks before I do it, so I need to be able to access this really quickly. All right, I'm going to tilt this back down and step back so we maybe have a slightly better angle. Whoa. So what it does now, at this point, I can do whatever I want. I can break dance. Now, I can't. Now I'm in vanishing position, and then it goes. So
that's so good. So without that, and if you're doing a vanishing birdcage, you're just locked in. This is why black stone
that's why black
out
stone comes out like this, and that's why most people use it as an opener.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I can't do my show like this, or I can't do my show with it in the vanished position. The nice thing is, and I'm not going to show you. Let's see. Let me try and make something soft. In my show, I can ditch it as I reach in my case. I'm behind my case. Now I'm clear. There's nothing.
That's awesome.
So I can one-hand ditch it too. And it comes with an attachment that allows you to do that.
All right. So if you vanish your bird cage and don't have Louie's take-up reel, you're probably doing it wrong. All right. Let's talk more about your stuff. Let's get through this Portland recap. Tell everyone else what they missed. Then we'll talk about some more of your lovely things here. We're back at Magic Show Tips, magicshow.tips, Louie Foxx's daily blog.
Yep. So those are my notes. I hosted a show. So those are my notes on like bits. That's all it is.
But this is great. Like you mentioned how you have some B material that you may or may not use. And again, this is great, valuable information from a working professional.
The box.
Here we go.
It's like a Dover discovering witchcraft.
This was hanging out before.
Sorry, scoot away.
Sorry. So
Never supposed to point a gun at me. All right, here goes. 1, 2, 3.
So cool.
Awesome.
So good.
If you don't know me, I'm into vintage magic stuff too. So that's an old Joseph silk gun and an old crystal silk box.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of stuff you get to see at the Louie Foxx booth when you're strolling through the dealer's room. It's a good time. And also follow him on Instagram, and then you can see that stuff on the regular, like he's sharing all the time. All right. So what did we wrap up with on day one? We had the John Chirac, the formal show. We jammed, and then now we're in day two. What's happening?
Yeah. Day two, the Danny Garcia lecture. I worked with him at a convention in November. He's great. His one card, if you don't have it, it's the best index ever for a folded card. If you need a flat card, it won't do anything for you.
Oh yeah, that thing slays. It's so good.
Yeah, and for me, it solved a problem. I use it in one of my routines. I don't do his route, but it solved a problem for me. So that was great. I love that.
Danny's a killer.
He's so great, and he's so nice. That's the kick in the butt.
Can we agree this was the best thing at the convention?
Yes.
David K. throwing down Silly Billy with a room full of kids. They didn't stop screaming for an hour.
And he never lost control. It was a controlled chaos.
And it was exactly that.
Weird things happened, but it was great. Because at one point, a kid's heckling him. Another kid gets up and like stares down the other kid.
And he's just like ready for it. Billy's like, well, here comes this skit. Yep. He's just like, bring it on, kid. I'm ready for you. You don't scare me.
Yeah. Tim asked in the chat, how big of a crowd? I think it's like 80 attendees, but they brought in, I think, 70 kids plus parents.
Yeah, and then the evening shows was full house. They're selling tickets public. I guess hotel guests were there, and so it's an ideal small convention. I always feel like these smaller regional conventions are so much more valuable for the attendees. You get a more personal experience. You get to hang with the professionals. And, it's just
also the smaller ones. I think the vibe of everyone hanging out is much bigger. You interact with everyone, where if you go to Magic Live, you may never see your roommate.
Right. And there's so much going on,
Yeah. And there's Paul Draper and I worked. He's up at the Moisture Festival right now. We try and coordinate because the Portland Magic Jam happens around the Moisture Festival. We try and bring acts to both.
Paul's a killer. We'll talk more about Paul as we go on through here.
That's me bringing pizza.
Because the small regional convention, someone might buy you pizza for dinner.
The restaurant.
Louie's like, I bought pizza for Magic Live, and now I have a new mortgage on my house.
Yeah. Well, the restaurant at the hotel only had one person working, and they knew they were having a conference in.
And the bar wasn't open. What?
Yeah.
What? Anyway.
But that saved us all a ton of money.
This is true.
So then the evening show that night was Danny Garcia, Schrock, and Reese Thomas, who is an amazing juggler.
Yes.
What a great shout out to Reese. He's based out of Oregon. He just a super tight, super funny act, and he's probably one of the few jugglers that solely supported his whole family, their whole lives, put his kids through college juggling. So.
It shows that he's doing it a lot. I could see a lot of street festival performer in him. He's out there working the real work, obviously. Yes. Love the finale, walking the knives. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that.
That's a classic sideshow stuff. He does a show called, I want to say it's like Circus of Science or something like that. Oh, it's a theater show. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Day three. We started with a Paul Draper lecture. God, this was good. So good. I've been happy to see Paul in Tricksupply a few times. He's always generous with his information and, willing to leg a guy up. And then his lecture is unique in what respect? What's he doing a little different?
He does a Q&A. So he goes, what topics do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And this was great after the show because people were asking about things like, okay, tell me about why you did this or whatever after seeing the show.
Yeah. So he gets, advice that magicians want and need in the crowd. He delivers it. And man, it was a super valuable lecture. They followed this lecture up with a panel discussion. So everyone could get some Q&A in with the performers that were there.
And then David K wanted to have a Portland lunch, so I took him to a food truck pod. That was the closest one I could find.
What is a Portland lunch? What's the go-to in Portland there? What do you get?
So we just had dumplings, but food truck pod is 8 food trucks, all different cuisines. And then usually a lot of them, they have a structure that's a bar.
Yeah, dig it.
And then the convention had the contests, which because we were at lunch, I missed the first half of the contest.
Yeah, that was fun. There were some very interesting acts in the contest. And then we wound down and jammed for a couple more hours.
Yep. That was a lot of fun. And I think it's $150 to register. Like, you can't beat that.
Portland Magic Jam. It's a banger.
Yeah.
If you're not following Louie on magicshow.tips,
Yeah.
why not?
I mean, you see what I'm working on. I'll have like bits. Sometimes it's like, here's a bit I'm working on. Sometimes it's just, here's what's in the shop. It's a little bit of everything.
All right. Before I get too far away from this question, let's talk about this Performing for Seniors book, which look, when your product line came in, I pulled this off the shelf. I'm like, what a valuable title. I know there's a lot of magicians out there working for this group, the senior, contingent. And I don't think there's been a treatise on how to do it properly.
I don't think there was. So that was written originally in 2004 and then updated in 2011.
Okay.
And it tells you kind of everything from how to market it to how, like, what to do. Do you need a sound system? Do you need what? So it looks like John is saying they don't react at the end. So there are a lot of ways to cue it. Just classic applause cues work, but you have to hold it a little bit longer than you would think. That's the thing.
So give them the applause cue, but spice it up a little bit more.
You hit it, whatever. Okay. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Someone's starting to clap. All right. Boom.
All right. Okay.
You got to hold it a little longer. And it also depends on the level of care. So if you're doing a nursing or dementia, it may not be there. And that's just the world it is.
Yep. I got Phoenix in the house. I was just talking to Wolfgang. We are going to be at the SAM convention. Tricksupply will be there offering our wares, and I'll be there, hanging out.
What city
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh.
No, that's Magic with Fee. That's my bro Phoenix. He's the future of Magic. Watch your heels. He's coming after you. But I hope to see you there, Phoenix. It's in Appleton, Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Houdini thing this year.
So I booked the comedy club out there just to see all the museum. The Houdini Museum is in like the county historical museum. It's got a whole floor. It's really cool. And then there's a bunch of plaques. They're like, oh, this is where the Houdini's house was, but it's just a plaque in downtown in an area where a house may have been. But
I look forward to seeing the things. Grabbing some of your stuff off the shelf. I told you, come on, we'll talk for 15 or 20 minutes. We're 30 minutes in. We haven't even looked at your stuff yet. Are you cool? You want to get out of here?
No, I got nothing to do.
More minutes? All right.
I have a hockey game at 7 tonight, so.
All right. Well, I got to get the doors open in the loose 20, so I'm not going to keep you here a whole lot longer. But there's so many great things. Let's talk about some of them.
Something you grabbed, which is one of my favorite things. This gets me a ton of work.
I love this. I love this.
So when I'm doing roving, and this gets me a ton of work because I do a lot of work I book most of my work through trade shows, through industry trade shows. So
valuable tip. Say that again. Say that again.
I book most of my work through industry trade shows.
And I know when I saw you here in Tricksupply a few months ago, you were in town doing a showcase at one of those. What's the deal? Let's give people a little bit of meat on the bone here.
So a showcase is essentially you're performing your show in front of a bunch of bookers, and pretty much every industry does this. That books. There are corporate ones, there are cruise ones, there are comedy club ones. You do 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the format is, in front of a bunch of people, and that's the showcase. But then there's also the trade show too. So there'll be your agent or whoever, you will have a booth and potential buyers come by.
And this is at your expense. You're going to spend thousands.
You're spending a lot of money doing this. And most of these are a slower build too. So like NACA is a big one for the college market.
Yeah. So it's like, so you want to be a professional, huh? You got $2,000 you want to drop on a trade show exhibit so you can
when all said and done.
$5,000? Plus you already, and if you're doing that, you better have your sizzle reel in the can on your website, right?
Yeah. So if you want to do book through trade shows, here's my advice too. Go to one as an attendee. That's the key. You know the level of promo, you know the level of act, because you can walk through and you go, oh wait, I'm not up to snuff for this, either as an act or with promo or whatever.
Yeah.
And you also casually meet people so that the next year you show up with your booth, you kind of know a couple people and you know how it flows.
All right.
So
Great
this
advice.
though,
Yeah.
this
What
trick,
is this?
I
What
do
is
this
it?
at the booth because people bring people back for me to show them this trick.
I'm not surprised.
So it's like, hey, for you, you get a free picture of beer. People go, free picture of beer? I'd love it. And it's a free picture of beer. And then I go, okay, who's this for? Doug, D-O-U-G, bam. So there it is, Doug. There you go. Don't drink it all in one place. And I give them the card. And then when they turn it around, it's an empty pitcher of beer.
So
That's
good.
it. It's out to lunch with a pitcher of beer. Now, I thought of this. I wanted to come up with pride and joy is what I wanted to come up with.
Okay.
And so I thought of the free pitcher of beer thing. And then I went and copyrighted all this too, which is because I thought it was like, this is the most genius thing ever. Everyone's going to steal it.
No, when I first saw it, I was like, how did I not know about pitcher of beer? I'm like old enough, I should know this one, but no.
Yeah.
That's not yours, is it?
As
Pitcher
far
of
as I
beer?
know, it's mine.
Oh, it is yours. It's not a time-honored piece of comedy? Okay, that's why.
As far as I know, no one's so.
Well, congratulations on winning. It's funny as to be, and it's a great piece.
So then I had the cards printed. I was just going to give these to people as a gag.
Yeah.
And so I had the cards printed, and I didn't know which was funnier. And then when they showed up, I'm looking at them and I go, oh, that's out to lunch right there. So
Yeah.
I wish I had planned it to be a trick originally. It was originally planned to be a gag. But, and if you do this, here's the key. Once I write their name, I say, does that look like the kind of beer you would drink?
Okay.
It makes them look at it. If I don't say that, about half the time, they don't remember it being full. It's the
So
stupidest.
what do you get in here? You get a stack of the empty cards, a couple of gimmicks, a couple of regular pictures.
So you get 50 empty cards, at least 50. I think I do 50 by weight and then throw 10 more on top of it.
All right.
And then you get 5 complete full pitcher cards if you want to do whatever, and a half card. So
that is out for beers, and I think you're going to find this is going to be like standard as we look at Louie's stuff. It's all top tier professional working stuff. Less than $20 for this wonderful piece.
It's great. And you can, one of the things I do with mine is I have a rubber stamp and stamp my info on the back. So
now it's a business card too. Yep. Love it.
One of my favorite things, I think I saw you grab this off the shelf, are the remote control chattering teeth. This is all it is. That's it.
I'm not surprised it's one of your favorite things. And that was the first thing I saw that we got in here. And I'm like, that is genius.
As far as I know, I'm the first person to put a remote control unit inside the old school chattering teeth. And I think it's because when these came out a million years ago, it just physically couldn't. And then once everything got small enough to do, no one wanted to. that ship had sailed. So these for me are I use them. I have a formal routine. They're used in my gypsy thread routine. Everyone goes, is it floss? No, it's thread. I don't floss the teeth at all. But when I write these, so if you work in like libraries, you kind of need a new show every year.
Yeah.
So I'll write out the show, and there's always one trick I think is going to crush, and it never does. So
okay, yeah, it sounds about right.
These are my versatile thing that I will add them into any trick. And basically how I do that is I go, hey, this is my grandpa's favorite trick. Do you want to meet my grandpa? And they go, yes. And I go, here he is. Like, he wouldn't fit in the box, but there's teeth. And then they interrupt me and the crowd goes wild. And it turns a trick that was flat into something with a lot of laughs in it.
Yes.
So
sir.
I use them in a show probably every summer because it's not a big thing that's, not like, oh, the ending of the trick is ruined if I do it again. And that's the same with my snake wand surprise is the same thing. I added into the trick that fell flat.
So I got a couple of your bigger props over here. I put a couple of our new things we're excited about. Maybe I'll talk about those more next week. But yeah, that's the snake wand, which is like it's a hilarious sight gag. Maybe I'll pull up the website just for a second. And we'll look at a little bit of you doing this for the kids.
Yeah, it's based on a Bev Bergeron bit I saw an old Nican 91, I think VHS tape, which is him doing the snake can. And then a David Ginn thing and an idea of mine. They all go together. And
I think it's broken. Oh, there's something on the other end. All right, so
man, that's an old video. Look at that.
I love your pant choice.
All right, so
all right, here we go. Thank you, buddy. All right,
something do all the bit. The payoff. We do that for like 9 minutes. You want to skip ahead to the payoff?
Hold on 1 sec. It won't let us talk over the clip, but basically that happens for a few minutes, and then a bunch of snakes spring out over everyone. So.
And then 12 jump out.
Yeah.
And so it's a holdout for 12 snakes. It's something that I wrote in a notebook 20 years ago, and it took me a decade to finally do it. And I'm like, why did I wait so long?
This is the energy that Silly Billy had in his show, kids laughing and screaming the whole time. And this is what you want when you're performing family-friendly shows, right? You know,
Yes.
Kids don't care about how mysterious you are. They just want to have fun. So
exactly.
There's unsolicited testimonial. It's so fun.
Yes. All right. So people are asking about the coin tray. I really need a person here to do it, but I can talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it. This is so smart. You made a coin tray that makes sense. This is what?
It's the old multiplying coin tray.
Yeah.
That was always a weird, ornate tray, which I never understood that you had coins on. 3 coins disappear and they reappear in the person's hand is what it is. So I moved it into like what you would see in the United States at a gas station or a corner store, the need a penny, take a penny. Apparently, I had the foresight. This will work with up to US quarters and up to 3. So essentially what happens is someone counts the pennies. There are 10. They remove 3. Take those out of the way. And then you dump the pennies into their hand. They hold on to them. The 3 pennies disappear and they have 10 in their hand again. So it's just a way of delivering.
Is that your application for the multiplying coin tray?
As far as I know, yeah.
It's a great, I've only seen it used to make more coins, but now we're doing essentially coins across into the spectator's hand. What a great idea for this prop.
Yeah, someone has to have done it that way before.
Yeah.
Can't be me. But
there's always a first, though. I haven't seen it that way, and I'm an old guy, so. But I'm also not the coin tray master. I don't know a lot about these things.
What I love about the coin tray is I like getting a weird prop involved with a gag. So I'm going to do the world famous 4-cent trick. Do you have 4 pennies? No one ever does. And I take out the tray, it gets a laugh. And now the prop is in play in a fun way because I got it. It wasn't just, let me take this out. It's motivated to have the prop there.
Yep. It's great. And hey, maybe you work in an environment where it's 100% natural. Maybe I'll put one on the magic shop counter and start demoing it that way.
There you go.
Why not, man? That makes total sense.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do I have on my desk? My classic evaporation trick.
Oh, bro, I saw this in the dealer's room. This is sub-genius, crazy town cool.
So I need a liquid vanish.
Right.
I was on the road performing, and I was using a milk pitcher for doing milk and light bulb. And this is the beginning of my applause please trick. My applause please trick is an applause sign for milk and light bulb, but it also does silk and light bulb. But I didn't like using the milk pitcher. So this is number 14 out of 13 previous bad ideas. The nice thing about this is it's a single serve container. No one sees stuff in a pitcher anymore, but you can pour it wherever, into the hand, wherever you want, it disappears. I wouldn't pour it in my hand, but into a cup or whatever. Reset. You're set in a second, and you're good to
So
go.
cool. What is even happening there?
It
It can also be the reset can be in an effect. You told me
Yes.
you could make that even part of it.
Yeah, a routine. A buddy of mine, I gave to a buddy of mine. I don't do it well. You're welcome to do it because it's my idea. Oh, and the ones I think you have some Gatorade ones there too, not Sunny D.
Yeah, I don't know. These are sealed in mystery, but so
Yeah,
it's a
I think they're
you
Gatorade.
got a Sunny. Oh no, you know what? I think I got these from you at the convention.
Yeah.
So are these what Gatorade?
Gatorade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So
it's a milk pitcher in a modern container that's doesn't look like something people saw in the 20s.
Yeah, but you could also do like the straw.
Oh
Make it
yeah,
big.
that's so good.
Yeah. So
The method
buddy-
is crazy town. Like
buddy of
this
mine
is
who's-
so smart.
buddy of mine who's a street performer goes like this, throws it in the air, it vanishes. He pretends to catch it in the mouth, and it looks like he's spitting it in. I can't do it because I don't do this, so I don't practice it. But then he goes and spits it back into the thing like that. And that was a routine I came up with, but I just don't do. So that's evaporation.
Evaporation. How much is this thing? $35.
$35.
Your stuff's very reasonably priced, dude. Like
I
feel
know.
like you could be juicing the market a little more, but don't tell the market I told you that.
Yeah, I mean, I try and put stuff reasonably.
Except for that $400 take-up reel. What?
Those are a pain to make.
Better
Those are
than $1,600.
Those are a pain to make. But yeah, it's also a quarter the price of $1,600. So in perspective, it's very reasonably priced. And then
Also,
let's see. Yeah.
I got two more things I wanted to talk about while we're here. One that I think super smart is your takeout box. So,
Yes. Can you show? Can you get video of me doing it?
yeah, let's bring this thing up here. This is we're on Tricksupply, and we have a little demo of Louie doing takeout box. I think you're in a school show here or something,
Yeah.
right? Hold on.
Hey, I'm Louie. This is my takeout box. What the takeout box is, it's an organic way to show a container empty, and then with a little bit of magic, you can make something appear for your dog. Like, I don't know, a tennis ball. There we go. We play fetch. There you go.
Yep.
So this is a great way to produce, vanish, or switch objects inside of a box everyone is familiar with.
Inside, you think the list is? Nothing. We're going to try and make a dream come true. Check it out.
There you go. Hits hard.
Sounds like a winner to me. Oh,
Yeah.
Where are we? Whoops.
It's a Chinese takeout box. There's nothing. I mean, there's more to it, but it's more like the old Silk Wonder box, if that gives you a clue of kind of what's going down.
Yeah.
And I use a tennis ball. I use the Daba Magic tennis balls. They're the best ones. But if you get
Is that a
these,
sponge tennis ball?
if you get these, he puts tape for the lines, and the tape comes off, so you have to paint the lines on them. But it's better than the current Alan Wong ones. If you can find the original run of Alan Wong ones, those are the best, but you can't find those.
Okay. Hot tip.
So, but that it's also kind of that whole routine is about my dog, and she just passed on Wednesday. So
Oh yeah. Condolences. That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole I should start doing it again to honor her.
Yeah.
But that whole routine in that particular show was about my dog.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Rewind to evaporation. This is smart. Use it to make a puppet drink.
Yep. You may use it to make a puppet drink. You can use it to. I mean, I should talk to Jack Grady and have him drink out of his butt.
I can get you in touch with Jack if you need to. He was here last week. We went running around Fremont Street together.
I drove down to Eugene to see his show. It was fun.
Nice. He's getting noticed on the street. We're watching other street performers, and the guys are like, check 80. You know, he's getting pegged in the
blowing up.
wild.
Yep.
All right, I wanted for sure before we wrap up here to mention your dye tube, which is killer diller. These are hard to find in a modern economy, and
Yes.
this is your solution. What are you doing a little different than everyone else?
Yeah. Oh no, you guys don't give me condolences about them. It's good. We know it's coming. It wasn't a surprise, but I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. So I needed a dye tube, and no one's making one right now, or they're making them. They're just not being imported in the United States right now. So I 3D modeled one and printed one for me. And this, all my stuff, I never make stuff to sell. I make stuff for me, and then people go,
Right.
will you make me one? So as long as I was making one, I was like, oh, I'll make it how I want it. So it's a little bit bigger than the other one that's common, and the finger hole's a little bit bigger. So it's a little bit bigger in diameter. It'll easily hold at the same time in it 2 18-inch square silk, or 18-inch on each side, full 18-inch silks, not diamond cut or anything. So plenty of room in there to do whatever you need. And it's got a finger hold that is good for most adults.
Yeah. So if you need a dye tube, we got you. Thank you, Louie, for those.
And-
Thanks for being that guy making those.
I know.
And
I never
lastly-
thought I'd be in the dye tube business.
Well, like you said, the thing is this, like, you know, there's a big difference between creating magic for the magic market, for the machine, for the wheel. And then there's also people who just make stuff, like you said, because they want their magic to be better. And then organically you offer those items to the fraternity. And you
Yes.
don't have to do that to make a living. I'm sure it maybe moves your needle a little bit, but it's just good stuff, man. You
It's
know,
fun. And all of my stuff, like with the exception of Evaporation, all go through independent dealers. So I don't, every website's not going to have my stuff. That also helps me keep my prices low because there's not a middleman between me and the magic shop.
Right.
So
let's talk just briefly about one of your higher end items that's just a killer idea. I'm talking about the Applause Please, and I guess we have Applause Please 2.
2, that's all that's made. Technically it's 2.1, but there's virtually no difference. You wouldn't know. So Applause Please is my milk and light bulb. So you get an applause sign that is remote control, and it has a working foot switch. So
We can look at this briefly. Do you have
Sure.
one there, or should I fire
I
up
don't
a
have it here,
trailer?
but I think I talked for 3 minutes on that video before you get to it.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll not watch the full trailer and encourage our audience to visit the website and check out the whole deal.
Yeah, so
Clarify a little bit, what this
So
is.
you can use a lot of ways. It's an applause sign that it has a foot switch. You step on, it lights up or doesn't light up. But it also has a remote control. You can have it light up or not light up with. So you can use it as a warm-up in a show. Like if you're doing a school assembly, you have the applause sign to teach the kids to react, or a senior gig to teach people to react. That when this is lit up, you clap. When it's not, you don't. And then you look away, the audience claps because it lit up on its own. That's just you using the remote control. It lights up, you turn around, it's not lit. So you could use it as a look, don't see warm up.
I watched the trailer yesterday, and this is getting the same reaction from the kids as the other reactions we've heard today. You know, the signs going off when you're not paying attention, they're all clapping, you're interacting with them. It is a fun interaction.
But I mean,
I put the QR code up there so people can just zap it and get right to the page to watch the trailer.
Yeah, but then I do later in the show, liquid disappears, or I do color changing silk, and you always have the one silk that is gone.
Right.
So then I go to step on the button for the applause after whatever's vanished, and the sign doesn't light up. So then I open the sign, there's a light bulb, you unscrew the light bulb, unscrew it, and inside's the liquid or the silk, or I've done it for Bill in light bulb. So whatever is vanished is now in the light bulb, and then you put the light bulb back, turn the sign on, and applause, and people go crazy. But the cool thing is it shows people your show has texture, that you've thought about your show, because you have a running gag through the show that then ties it all back, that shows, wait, he planned that the whole time. He's not just pulling crap out of his case. And it's not just a kid show bit. I've done this on cruise ships. I've done this in corporate gigs. It's just a great way to also train an audience to applaud.
Yeah. And it's a super attractive prop too. It's just a beautiful thing, you know, looks great on the stage when it lights up. And I'm sure the creative performer will find their own voice with this thing. If it interests you, you'll probably really like having it.
I love it. The boxes, the boxes are made by Phil Ackerley. So shout out to Phil. What up?
Shout out Phil. What's up? All right, as we wind down here, I'm curious what you got going on moving forward into the year. So what does it say on your calendar here? You're busy in April. What are you doing this April?
Yeah, all April, I'm doing like arts and schools type stuff. For pretty much all of April, I'm doing 100% new show.
Okay.
So you're actually my procrastinating, because I don't want to be working on the show. I don't want to practice.
Yeah, you're just a big Magic nerd. I could tell. You know, you're a big dork. You know, it's like we didn't even look at your shell game collection that you had on display at the Magic convention. That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah. I had tons of shell game sets there. That's something else I'm into.
I can imagine a visit to the Louie Foxx hacienda is a pretty good time, right?
Yeah, I'll show you a good time. I mean, we got weird stuff.
So also, you still at the Moisture Festival. If you're around Seattle, people can catch you there a couple of dates. You're on tour.
Even if I'm not around, go check out the Moisture Festival. It's amazing.
Look how busy this man is. How do you book so far in advance? We need to have you back. And someone said it in the chat. You know what you need to do is join us on the Magic Guys podcast one time. You know about the Magic Guys, right? The FISM award-winning Magic Guys podcast.
No, but I have a 20-hour drive ahead of me in a couple of weeks, so I can throw some on my phone.
Put this on your radar. We won a FISM award, crazy enough, last year, and we've got a crazy cast of characters that joined.
Wait, you're a FISM award winner now?
And no one's more surprised than me, literally. But yeah, I think we could continue this chat, and we'd love to have you there one day. And so we'll chat more about that. Let me turn my attention to the chat here as we wrap up and see if there's any last minute questions or comments, or anyone needs to milk you for anything else. And let me just also say thank you, brother. Like you know, to take an hour of your day and spend it with our audience. I heard some invaluable advice. We got to see some great products today, some fun stories. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Like, I always appreciate talking about this dumbness. So
cool. I owe you a Las Vegas food truck visit next time you're here. We'll go to Container Park and eat some corn dogs or something. Yeah,
I'm into it. The pull self-pulling, no, it converts. It shortens the string. It's still a wrist to wrist. Because that's the only way to get that instant power.
Yeah, that's okay. Asked and answer and agreed. Nice ideas. True worker material. And Seth. Again, Seth Howard's got the shirts up there.
Yep.
You'll go find the Magic Shop. And I guess I don't even have too much time to answer questions. I got 1 minute. The damn store opens. I think we hit the record for my longest live stream. So you now have a third. What are your other two Guinness World Records? You have two of them.
Most bounces of a soap bubble on a human hand. Most bottles grabbing caught with a bullwhip in a minute.
No marshmallow award?
No, we should work on that. Most marshmallows in the mouth.
I'm thinking you can get that one. Is that an award yet?
I don't think so.
You looked it up?
Right. I don't think they do food records anymore, like eating style.
What the heck?
They stopped at one point because it was dangerous.
Louie, you know too many things about too many things.
Oh, there's one of my world records right there. Speaking of it.
Yeah. That's so cool.
First one has a certificate. I don't know where the second certificate is. That's the important one. It's the first one.
Well, then, so you could just tell people you're an award winner with marshmallows, and if you don't have the certificate, who cares?
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. I'm not a role model. Let me say thank you one more time. I'm going to escort you to the back. I'd like to say bye to you in the back room if you can hang out for just
Sure.
1 minute. Everyone say thank you to Louie Foxx. Go follow him on his website. Go to the magicshow.tips blog and find Louie on Instagram. Make your magical world a better place. Thank you, Louie.
Thank you.
Ciao. All right, folks. Well, that is it. What a banger, huh? I knew this was going to be fun, and I wasn't wrong. And let me just say thanks again for everyone, and double thanks, Louie, for joining us today. We'll be back next week, Saturday, 10 a.m. That's our day now. Saturday mornings, we're doing it. We're going to talk about some apprentice magic next week. Easy stuff for beginners, but quality apparatus, good enough for professionals. And hey, I got some of it to give away. So we're going to do another giveaway next Saturday. That should be a good time. And if nothing else, you can get free stuff. So join me then. And in the interim, I'll be here, 2510 East Sunset Road, 11 to 6 every day. Hope to see some of you walking through the doors this afternoon. And I better go get them open now. That's a wrap. Ciao. Au revoir. See you next week. Goodbye.